sun cream day. So this morning I've got to do a fence repair, or replacement really. Got them concrete posts in and gravel boards, and the fence is absolutely shut it, so that's what those panels are in the trailer. But I'm not looking forward to it because there's a lot of cutting back to be done to try and get in. Some of those I can't even see. So I've got a feeling this is going to be a bigger job than I ever anticipated. Getting to mess with this sun cream. And I've got to try and do it on my own, and with a weak shoulder from dislocations over the years, and trying to launch up panels up into 5 foot into the air so you can slot them into the post. I'm really not looking forward to this. Right, that'll protect my little head for a little bit longer, won't it? At the moment it feels like it's going to be a hot day. How's that looking? Right, see what mess we can make of this. 1 down, 13 to go. Progress so far. And now I've got to try and find some fence panels in that lot somewhere. Wish me luck. Well, my man's back killed me off. It's been a red hot day today, but we've managed to get it done. Just a bit of a sprint to finish again, but anyway, it's not really my kind of thing. I've decided I don't like these. I used to do a lot this years ago. I decided I don't like it. But can you believe those panels are £50 each? I remember the day when I used to be able to get them for about 16. £50 each. I had 650 quid's worth in the trailer, and there's only 13 panels. Amazing. So, but it does look much better now I've done it. See you in the morning. Hey Woodlanders, welcome back to another woodlog. So today's Tuesday. Yesterday I did that job in Newhall for the fence panel repairs, and I didn't do much filming that day, and I didn't do much talking either. It was about, it killed me off. I was like on a mission trying to get it done because it wasn't a job I particularly enjoy. We managed it, but it was quite a grueler of a day. See dust in your eyes. But today's going to be blisteringly red hot, so I thought, well, I'll have a workshop day because I've got to try and get ready for the timber festival in Moira. I've got to do some little jobs. I've got to make a sign. I've got to finish some timber so Karen can do a little bit more pyrography. So we're doing that today. I honestly don't know where the day's going to go, but it always makes it exciting. I just almost one of those do as you please kind of days. One of my jobs today is to make a sign. The timber festival, they don't like plastic, so they don't want any plastic banners or signage. I saw another guy do it and I thought, that's just interesting. So he gets a lot of planked larch and then puts like garden signage and man cave and those sort of things on it. But he got his own sign, and all he'd done is routed his name in it. I'm not very good with routing, but I thought if I give it a whirl. So that's one job today. In other news, I've hurt my neck, which I think was yesterday. So doing them fence panels yesterday and mauling and raunching and all the rest of it, I kind of cricked my neck all down here, so I can't move my neck much more than that. That side's not too bad. I can't look up very well either, so, which is just awesome. All of this stems from a car accident we had years ago, and a famous footballer decided to ram our car, and honestly, because my neck, I was turning my head like that at the time, and the old whiplash falling forward, my neck has never been right since. Yes, that wasn't a great day, that wasn't really. These are destined for coasters. Right, next job is these tea lights in cherry. There, you'll see that. Look at the spalting in there. That to me looks absolutely fantastic. It's as if somebody's got a fine line of pen and drawn on it. And that one up. Awesome. Anyway, we'll sand them and get them ready. I was just looking for one that I could wax now, because how much it enriches the colours with a bit of wax. That's some odd stuff. That's holly, that is. From, let me think, that'd be holly from Blackford, that would. Bit rustic maybe. This afternoon I'm going to try and get that, my business name, in that font. I quite like the rounded font, and I'm going to try and put it on here now. I've just done a trial run and completely forgot about the fact that the B is taller than the piece of wood allows, so I've had to just reduce my scalings. But I'm going to just sketch this out, and then the idea is to try and use the router to route it out as best I can. I really don't know how that's going to go, because it's going to all be freehand, but it'll be an interesting experiment, and whatever happens I've really got to be able to use it, because I haven't got the time for 10 goes at this. What do you reckon? That's actually turned out better than I thought. A lot better actually. So what I'm thinking was, in order to highlight it better, is, what do you reckon to burning in with a blowtorch and then sanding it off, so the inside is black, the outside is freshly sanded. I think that could work. I've got a little blowtorch, so I'm going to give it an experiment. I'll experiment, because I did some experiments at this end. Look, I'll do it up here and experiment, because in order to try and get the routed parts black, you end up burning the outside timber. See, it's as if the routed pieces don't actually burn as well as the sort of rough sawn timber. So I had to go at that, but then I kind of packed up thinking, I'm going to make a complete and utter hash job of this, aren't I? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end up having to paint, splosh some paint inside there, let that dry, and then sand over the top of it, or even I could probably put that through the planer, although it could end up flicking some of the bits out. So yes, we'll do the paint I think first. Tried to find some black paint, but the black paint I've got has gone off, so that's had to be thrown away. I had some blackboard paint, which would have been ideal because it dries very matte finish. I've got some brown gloss paint, and I thought, well, as long as it's dark it should be okay. So I'm just boshing this in here, and then I'll have to let it dry until probably tomorrow, just to make sure the gloss is dry before I put some sanding dust all in it. Next job is to wax these, so Karen's been busy drawing. So I wax these. That's a bit of beech from across the road. When we first moved up here, the chap across the road wanted his beech tree down. I was like, oh, you can't just bin all that, it's going to turn it into 4 firewood. So I had the bottom piece and put that in the sawmill, so that's just a chunk that came off it. It's quite a nice bit of timber really. Here's a couple of bits of cherry from Church Gresley, and this one has got that shake all the way down and then it picks back up again there, so I think I'm going to have to do is just cut that in half. I have 2 separate pieces. I'm going to walk both of them through the planer, and I've no idea what to use them for really. So I was struggling to know what to do with these pieces of cherry that I've just planed and done a little bit with. Anyway, what I thought was it's too small to go for coat ups that way, so I've done a few of these before, and I put a silver birch hook on there, and then got another one there, look, and then another one there, and I tidy these all up and make them look better than that. And maybe that one there could be something like that. But these have got to go through the planer, you see, so that I can get the backs of them. All I did was just whack them on the bandsaw, but you see there's a fair old twist in that. So I plane them up either by hand or put them on the thickness of planer on the surfacer, and then get them nice and flat, and then they sit flat on the timber then, and I put pegs in and glue them, and they look, I think, look really nice. I've not sold that many. Maybe my idea of what's nice and what people want to buy are two different things. Anyway, Ali Ray wants me to go and play in the paddling pool because it's 25 degrees outside, and for the UK that's blazing, and I don't think I will be filming that. So we will see you tomorrow on another blistering red hot day tomorrow. Different, so I've come up to the Woodland and come head on with a lorry whose guy said, yeah, I saw the signs, but the sat nav said, and I'm like, mate, the sign's there for a reason. And he daren't reverse because he's going to end up in the ditch, and I was like, well, yeah, that's right, it's a good job it's dry, because if it wasn't, he'd be in the ditch again. I don't know, they'll never learn, will they? This morning was a little gardening job, one of my regulars. So that was on my hands and knees weeding most of the morning and a bit of lawn mowing. Now Sunday was an interesting one, so hang on, let's pop your head up a second. There we go. On Sunday I wanted to release a video about buying charcoal. So I've been working on this video for about 3 weeks, and I was fairly okay with the end result. I felt it was a little bit rushed in the end. A bit later on in the afternoon I decided to release a link on Facebook. It was a particular Facebook group, different people that make charcoal, and I just released it to see what they thought to it. Anyway, I got a fair bit of backlash from it, and I'd inadvertently talked about charcoal weight and buying charcoal by weight as a comparison process. but I don't think I explained myself particularly well. Anyway, some of the guys on there got pretty upset. Looks like I'm going to have to re-record the whole thing. Now, originally I just thought, oh, you know, I'm just going to scrap the idea, and what I did, I took the video off YouTube. It's there in the background, but no one can search it and see it. I get asked a lot of questions about different aspects of our charcoal, and rather than having to keep retyping the same thing over and over, what I could do is send them a video link. And I thought maybe other colliers wanted to do the same, you know, just send people a link. This is some basics about charcoal, and I think sometimes it's easier to watch a 6-minute video than sit trawling through somebody's lengthy email about it all. Anyway, it kind of backfired on me, and I was like, oh, and I was a bit fed up yesterday about it all. I was going over and over and over it on Monday. So I redrafted a few notes, but I'm yet to record the video, so I can actually see it being, I wanted to do it this week, but there's no chance. So I can see it being next week now. I mean, there's no particular rush, but I was just wanting to get that one off my mind. Only, yeah, and I certainly didn't set out to upset anybody, and I certainly didn't set out to alienate the very people that I try to work closely with, and that's other charcoal producers, because I think, in a way, we're trying to fight the same problem, which is the massive imports of barbecue charcoal. I mean, we're talking about nearly 90% of all barbecue charcoal comes from overseas, which is fine if it was a good quality, and that's what the video was all about. But we'll save that for another day. Listen to the sound of the birds, it's amazing. So I've not been up here for a few days really. Never come up here last week, not too much anyway. And I've not been up this week really as far as yet, only to get my little cardboard box. And I tell you what, I do miss it. I'm out earning money to try and keep the family going and pay the bills, but man, I do miss being up here. I like this. July I try and keep, and I've done this for a couple of years now, where July I try and keep it for having a right good old tidy up the woodland. And last year I did a little bit in June as well, and I did all my log splitting in June, and now I'm a month behind. So I feel like I'm behind now for some reason. Try and balance it all, it's very difficult. I've got more gardening jobs I've took on. It's for my next door neighbour, so she's struggling to get anybody to look after her front garden. It's just a bit of a wild jungle. In fact, it looks worse than the woodland does at the minute. It's just so nice and peaceful to be up here. Anyway, I will keep you in the loop. Let's have a look. You know, it still looks surprisingly better than I imagined. Let's give it a sand. I've lost my letter M. It's the sander got a bit too stuck in and basically sanded the letter M out. So I've been getting carried away doing these. I've got quite a few of these knocking about. Afternoon. This morning's job was a little bit of garden tidy up one of the neighbours on the street. So did that, nothing particularly exciting than that I'm afraid, but we did that, managed to get my arms ripped to shreds with the brambles. Back in the workshop, I've got to do a little bit of waxing. I've got to finish my sign off because there's the letter M that's missing. This is a piece of lilac. The creamy stuff is very, very soft sapwood, that is. But the heartwood, which is this sort of lilac-y, almost a bit of purple in there, you can see that. It comes up absolutely stunning, but it's very brittle, so you might see the chatter, because you get the light on it. You might see the chatter there where the knot is from the planer. Now, it's quite a brittle wood, as actually for colour. I think that's hard to beat, that. Very nice bit of wood. Okay, so progress so far. We've got we've just been doing the bevels on these and on these, on those and on this and on them. I think we're going to go for those because I've run out of wooden hooks, so all these wooden hooks have been used up. So we'll baz one of them on, and that's a different shape. There you go, and that'll go on there. So rather than screwing these things on, which I think would look ugly, I never like the screws, what I do is I use little oak pegs. Precious these are. Not only are they expensive, they're also a little bit on the ultra rare side at the moment, because a lot of the exports from Canada have all been halted somehow, I don't know why. So trying to get anything Veritas at the moment, bit of a nightmare really. Veritas, dowel and tenon cutters. Amazing bits of kit. Where can I put you so you're not falling off? You just basically go in there, you give it a little turn like a pencil sharpener, and the shavings come out, look, and you get startings of a nice round dowel. And here I put them in the vise. And what I do with these, I cut these off with a bit of a squared off top. I finish that off with a knife, so what it gives you is a wedged peg then, so the top bit becomes wedged. So even though I glue it all, it's just kind of like a nice feature at the top, so these become wedged. I'll show you in a bit. Little bit like that, look. I drill a hole in that. That will go through there, through that, and then into that. And there you go. See what the peg's in, side view, about another 100 to go, and we're done. Thanks Woodlanders for watching again this week. Next week is all about Timber Festival prep. This week hasn't really been a Woodlanders kind of week, has it really? It's been more of a bit of an all sorts week, so apologies for that. We'll try and get back into some woodland goodness next week. See you on the next one.